Hello, Kate here from Keight Krafts, sharing with you another project for Hollow Tree Hobbies. Let's get started. So to kick things off, I am using the 4 square backdrop die by Lawn Fawn, and I have gone ahead and cut it out once in the green out of the Stripes and Sprinkles paper pack, as well as twice out of a 110-pound cardstock. And all I'm doing is removing that center little panel so I could have 3 little picture frames for our card. So once I'm happy with that, I will set those off to the side, and we are going to glue everything down. So I've added a little bit of tape runner for some double stick, and I'm going around the edges of our frame to make sure that I get a little bead of glue all over everywhere. And then we'll line that up and give that a good mash down, making sure that everything is all nice and tidy. Next, I'll add a little more tape runner there, and then I will go around again with the Barely Arts glue, because y'all know how I like to double stick, and make sure that everything's adhered nicely, and then we will stack that on after we drop it onto our project and make sure everything's nice and tidy. So once we have that done, I had this extra piece of vellum by Lawn Fawn that I thought I'd use up for our little card here. So I've gone ahead and added some more tape runner to the bottom so that way we make sure that it sticks while we're working on our project. And again, going around the edges to make sure that there's enough glue around everywhere to hold this down tight. So once I've tucked everything in tidy, I'm going to give that a mash down, and it's time to build our scene. So I thought with this card I would tell a little bit of a story. So for the first little scene, we have the mice from the Merry Mice set by Lawn Fawn, and I like to think of these two as meeting for the first time and saying hello, or maybe they've known each other before and they're friendly with each other and are waving, but little do we know they have hearts for each other. So I thought I would do that by adding some of the little hearts that I found in this set that I cut and colored off camera. And once I've dug these out, we're just going to put little hearts on the top. You know, they could be friends who have affection for each other, or they could secretly be, eyeballing each other up. So once I've got these guys to put down, we are going to get a little bit of glue here, just a little tiny bit, and then we'll get them with our pickup stick and give them a good mash down. And then once I'm happy with their placement, we are going to move on to the next scene. So the next scene, I like to think of them as, yay, they finally admitted they like each other. So they're giving each other a hug and they're happy and they are so much in love. And I just thought these mice from the happy hugs was perfect to set the second scene. So they're courting each other, they're happily in love, and they can't get enough of each other. So they've got double the hearts smashed together, and I thought this was very cute, and I couldn't wait to get to the third scene. And the third scene, of course, you hear the da 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 da. So I've taken the little archway here that I've colored in, and I'm cutting out some extra pieces that I've die cut because I didn't have the right size of foam tape to prop this up with. And I thought maybe I could use a little bit of the leftover scraps from my 110-pound cardstock. So that's all I did. I cut the die, I just used the die cut to cut these guys out, and then I'm just going to stack them onto the archway itself. So that way, the negative space that's underneath it that doesn't have a lot of support will now have a little bit of stability underneath it. So once I'm happy with that, we will be able to glue everything down. So I'm going to add some glue to the back. Once I have an idea of where I need to be, push that down nice and tidy and center that up. And now we can put our little mice down. But first, I want to make sure that they have all of their little wedding attire. So this little gentleman right here gets his cute little tie glued on. And these pieces are quite tiny. I think I misplaced the tie maybe once or twice on my desk. And then next we have the adorable little veil for the Mrs. Mouse. And that's going to be blowing in the wind because it's a little bit of a windy day today. And for the man here, we have his little adorable top hat, and we are going to kind of moosh that around in place till I'm happy with it. And then once I've got that done, I thought I could lay them flat, but I had a little bit of foam tape here that I thought would be perfect just to slide in there. So I'm just adding little bits of foam tape that I have, and I'm going to stick these guys down the way they are. So I wanted to make sure that there was enough at the top to hold them up because they're going to lay slightly higher than the little archway, and I thought the foam tape was perfect for this. So I'll add a little bit of glue where it's going to be touching the paper and a little bit of glue on top of the foam strips. So once I'm happy with the amount of adhesion, we are going to take our tweezers and we are going to place these guys down. And isn't that wonderful? They met, they fell in love, and got married. And I just thought this was so cute. So with the extra little bits that I colored, I'm going to put 3 hearts there because now they're in union. And then I've got the little hearts as well that I had extra, which I decide I'm going to go through on the other side. I'm going to throw them on the other side. That's what I'm going to do. And then I've got the little bouquet that I wasn't sure quite what to do, and I thought it tied in really nice on the other side right there. So there's a lot going on, but it's very simple, and I think I really like the simplicity of it. But I was wondering what kind of sentiment I was going to put on this one. So I pulled out my stamp set and I banner die, and I thought To the Happy Couple would be very fitting. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the back of this, and then we are going to take our card and line it up as best that we can. And once we are happy with the placement, we're going to give it a good mash down. And there you go. So we have to put our card onto the card base. So again, not on the vellum, but I am going around where the vellum is hidden by the little critters. So we are on the vellum, but not on the vellum. So you won't see this through the vellum, if you know what I mean. So once I have got that down together, we are going to add a little bit of detail. So I'm going to give that a good mash down, inspect my handiwork, and then we're going to go in with the Sakura Stardust pen, and we're just going to go around the hearts just to give them a little bit of shine, to add a little bit of interest. And I found that this pen was running out, so I grabbed my extra one, and this one seemed to work quite well. I think the last one is almost on its last little juice, and I probably need to throw that one out. But thankfully I had an extra one. I always like having the Jelly Roll pens in twos, especially the ones that I use the most, like the Stardust pen. It's one of my favorite ways to add glitter and sparkle and shine to my card. And my second favorite way is the Wink of Stella. Each glitter pen gives a different effect. I find that the Stardust is a little more concentrated and in your face, whereas the Wink of Stella is more of I don't know how you would say it, more of a subtle and soft sparkle. So they each have their purpose, and I love them both. So here you have my finished card. I really hope you enjoyed today's project. I encourage you to head over to the Hollow Tree Hobbies website and social media. And as always, thanks for hanging out with me today. Take care.